The grip is not a fundamental. Now I know that's going to blow a lot of people's minds. They're going to say, wait a minute, everybody has to have a perfect grip. Well, you know, what is a perfect grip? Most people kind of agree on a perfect grip, what that would look like. For a right-hander, it would be a 2-knuckle visible grip here. The V would point to the right ear over to the right shoulder, somewhere in there, so that's kind of variable. And then the right hand comes on top and connects to the left hand in this manner. And the thumb now points again right to the same area. Now here's the problem with the idea of the grip being fundamental or there's a perfect grip. Most tour players don't do that. There is a vast difference in the best ball strikers and the best professionals in the world on how they hold a golf club. And also for you, having the size of the grip makes a huge difference. So a bigger grip is used by a lot of players. Bryson DeChambeau would be one great player who uses very oversized grips, even bigger than this, which is 1 wrap over. And the reason he does that is to take the hands out of the swing. So big grips give you less hand action. But Bryson combines that with a super weak left hand. His thumb is on the front side of the shaft and he shows like 0 knuckles on the left hand. So his left hand is turned over, maxed out as far as he can. And he turns his left arm the other way. So he's getting to range of motion, max range of motion. So he kind of counteracts each way. I know that's a little complicated, but when we're talking about the grip, he's got a super weak grip and he hits draws. So again, mind-boggling because we think that a weak grip produces a slice. And for most people, a weak grip is producing a cut or a slice action because pretty easy, if you look at my watch here, if I rotate my watch all the way over here, there's not much more for it to go. But if I turn my watch up in the sky with a strong grip, now I've got all of this rotation to go with. So that's why it's easier to draw the ball or hook the ball with a stronger position, which for a lot of people that go through our golf schools, we put them in a stronger grip. We put the club face in a stronger position at the top. What we don't do is put the club in a weaker position for most amateur golfers. We just don't do that. So the weak grip definitely is dangerous for the average player. But Colin Morikawa, Jordan Spieth, and many other great players, Justin Thomas, they have weak grips because they don't want to hook the ball, mostly, but Bryson DeChambeau does. So what does that mean? A weaker grip can produce a hook or a draw, but it's prone to hit a slice because, as I showed you before, it's going to tend to go back to neutral. Neutral's kind of the way our hands hang when we're just standing straight up and down. And we brought our hands together. That's kind of the idea of kind of the perfect neutral grip. Neutral's good. I'm not saying it's not. I teach good grips to a lot of people, but I adjust the grips. Now, I also wanted to point out, if you have smaller hands or need more hand action, you could go to a smaller grip. So this would be a really small grip. Now, this really is easy to put in my fingers. And when you get the club in your fingers, you can set the club and release the club easy, much easier. When you have the bigger grip, it's much more difficult to do that. So again, I want to talk to you about these different grips positions. So I mostly went with left hand here. Now let's talk about the right hand. We're seeing a lot of players right now get the right hand a little bit more under into that stronger position. So the more that right hand is under, the easier it is to draw the golf ball. Because again, it's just this rotation that's available to you in the position you put your hands on. So you will see some more players with a grip more like this, instead of putting the hand up on top, which is kind of the old style conventional idea that I've got to have this grip, and maybe your teacher jacks your hand over here and it just feels terrible and you're hitting weak weak slices to the right. Well, I would move the hands over, and this right hand for a right-hander really puts a lot of speed in your swing and a lot of release in your swing. And again, Justin Thomas has got that right hand under a lot. And I've seen a lot of other players get it quite a bit under as well. So it's an adjustable form. Now let's talk a little bit more about the grip, because some players overlap the pinky on the finger. I'll be a right-hander. My right pinky goes on top of the left forefinger like this, in this fashion. And this was part of the original perfect grip that was taught to everybody. But now we find that most tour players intertwine the fingers in an interlock grip. So they use this grip. But there are some really fine players that put all of their fingers of the right hand on the grip. That's a 10-finger grip where all of your fingers are on. And again, if you need a little more right hand in the swing, to a little more release, this can be a really good grip for quite a few people could use this grip. So again, this is showing you the variability in how you can hold the golf club and the way you turn your hands either way. But really, when you can see when I turn my hands, I'm really turning, this is the radial bone on both arms. I'm turning the radial bone, and you can see how that allows me to rotate the club more. So my great teachers, like Jackie Burke and Ken Venturi, major champions, both said it's more how you put your arms on the club than your hands. So your arms go on a club more like this. They don't usually go on like this. This would be a high handicapper kind of grip, holding it like this with all their fingers. So that's not going to be good. It's going to be a grip that's very difficult to have your hands work in concert with each other. So we want to get a grip that squares this up, the club face. We want a square club face at impact. That's the purpose of the grip. Your grip is merely a connection from you to the club. So we all have different strengths in our hands. We have longer, shorter fingers, more dexterity, more coordination. I put my students in a grip that helps them hit the ball better, that helps them hit the ball longer. And it's not always the same. Mostly, it's a stronger grip because I want to see that ball drawing. But I want you to know this. There is no one grip. It is not a fundamental. Look on the PGA Tour at all of these different players, of the different ways they put their hands on the club, how much space they take up on the club, if it's close together or they use a lot of the grip. Always a little bit different. I'll tell you this though, you got to be careful about tension in your fingers and your hands, because tension kills the golf swing. So whatever grip you're using, we try to have the mobility in our wrist joints so we're not over squeezing the golf club. We have to hold on firm enough so somebody can't take the club away from you. You still have some feel and tension in the hands. But also, when I talk about this, is like, where do you hold it tight? Yeah, where do you hold it tight? Well, it's the back 3 fingers of the left hand. It's the middle 2 fingers of the right hand. Hogan had a great thing in his books where he took the forefinger and the pinky off the club and he held it like this to show you, these are off. He held the club right here. And the right thumb is a killer. So many people I teach grip this too tight. Don't press down with your thumb. That's a no. Don't do that. Hold the club in there. Get that mobility in your wrist. Adjust the configuration of your hands. Find the grip that works for you. What makes you hit the ball solid? What makes you hit it longer? What makes you draw the golf ball? That's what we mostly want for almost 95% of the people that I teach. And I teach a lot of people. So hope you can come down and see us here at the Biltmore. Best of luck with your golf.